Hello, colleagues. I just wanted to take a quick moment and talk to you about how I use Prezi for some of my presentation software. Prezi is a new interactive interface. Well, not all that new. It's been around for several years now, but it's an interactive presentation software that's built off the model that students learn better in a sort of comprehensive, holistic way rather than a linear way as we move from one step to the next. Fundamentally, what it's doing in a pedagogical sense is it's trying to engage the student's mind to say, here's the big picture and here's how each of these components fit in the picture, as opposed to a PowerPoint which functions much more in a linear fashion, which says if point A is true, then we can move to point B and point C and so on and so forth. So to engage a postmodern mind that's very eclectic and very holistic in its thinking, trying to engage the larger picture, Prezi was put together to help that. So in this presentation, what I want to do is basically run through exactly how you can get hooked up with Prezi, and then you can proceed through some further training. To do it, you are going to simply go to prezi.com, Prezi.com, type that in, and then you're going to see the interface. Now let me log out so that I can show you exactly what it's going to look like for you. As faculty members, this is what you will see when you first go to Prezi if you've not ever logged in, and you just want to click Get Started, which will be on the left side of your page. Now, as you can see, Prezi is a software that can be purchased, but the advantage here for us is that it is free for faculty members and students, so even your students can get some access to this. You simply go to the bottom of the page, so go scroll all the way to the bottom and look for students and teachers, and then sign up. Now, there's still a way to get a professional grade, which it would cost you about $5 a month if you wanted to kind of update it to some of these, and then there's even more if you want to do a whole team, but we'll just stick with this kind of the baseline model. The baseline is free, completely free to educators and students, so you would click Continue here, and it would get you set up with the registration. Make sure that when you're doing this that you consistently put in your leeuniversity.edu address. The way that Prezi functions, it makes sure that to verify you based off an edu address. So that's how it verifies whether you're a faculty member or a student. But you'll have to put that in. Don't forget that as you're registering. Now, let me go ahead and log in. I've already gone through this process, so I don't need to go through the registration process. But you will log in. And it will bring you to your screen. You'll notice with mine, if I can get there, you'll notice with mine that there is a whole host of Prezis that are already there and ready to function. Things that I've done throughout the years, different Prezi functions. But it's also very easy for you once you get in. Your screen will be blank. The only thing that'll be on there is a new Prezi, and you can either click New Prezi here, or you can click it up here. Either way, I'll guide you through that in a moment. But before you get to the making of a Prezi, I would suggest that you go to the Learn and Support. And I'm going to go through both of these links with you, but the Learn and Support link is a really important one right up front, because what Learn and Support does for you is that it shows you step by step how to do Prezis. Now, I won't go through all of these. I'll let you do that on your own time. But you'll notice that Prezi has a series of tutorials. So the Top Prezi Tips Part 1, Top Prezi Tips Part 2, Simple Steps to a Great Prezi. It even, just so you don't have to recreate a lot of work that maybe you've done in the past, or you can just supplement and add to, if you're a PowerPoint person, then it has a tutorial that will help you understand how to import from PowerPoint into your Prezis and then make them available immediately online to your students. So I would suggest that you kind of search through these videos and then some of the links down here. Get to know Prezi, all of these, the new features log, all of these are very, very helpful in helping you create your Prezi. So it gives you step-by-step directions on how to do that. Even this one here, Beginner's Guide to Prezi, that's always a good place to start. So check those out. That's going to be really good. Let me also, before I open up Prezi, show you the Explore link. I get a lot of ideas on how to format presentations by going to the Explore link. So this is a great way to go. They're not always topics that are of interest to you, but you can actually search topics. People make their Prezis public. You can find them. It may fit in with a course that you're doing, maybe edit a few things here or there, but you could create or kind of take from in a pretty easy way so that you could adapt it to your course, because the material here, some people keep it private, but sometimes they make it public access, so you can access it and use it in whatever way you see fit. But the way you'll do it, you can either search for a Prezi. So if I wanted to search like an introduction to theology, which would be my course of study, I would do that and see what comes up. And there's several things here that could work out. There's a moral life introduction. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much here for me, at least initially. Even got one over here for the worship leader out there. But that's the way you can kind of search those. Going to staff picks. If I take a step back, these are some of the more creative Prezis that are out there, and they're just a lot of fun to look at and see how you can do things and model your Prezis after them, because they really are pretty engaging. In fact, let me bring up one here if I can. This particular Prezi is on the Navis Island, so it's a corporation that's put this together. But you'll see right from the get-go with this Prezi, as it's loading, you'll see right from the get-go that what they're trying to do is give you the larger picture of the island first, of that whole concept that's being developed, and then they're going to narrow in on a few things. So let's go back and I'll just kind of show you some of this as it's loading up here for us. It takes just a moment on this computer, but it will load and it'll function kind of like a slideshow or a movie that students can guide themselves through as they go through the process. So let me check one more time, see if we're here yet. May not. While we're waiting for that, let me just open a new one here. We're going to go to My Prezis, and we will locate those real quickly so you can see kind of what to do with those particular Prezis as the Navis. There we go. We're loaded here for Navis. So what has happened here, if I can back it up, Navis is the first slide. It tells you who it's by. But then you zoom out for your second slide and you see the whole concept. So laced within this presentation here are all the components that you're going to need, probably built right into the presentation. So you would zoom in right here. You see this. And chances are we go next, it's going to take you into the movie. Now what's neat about this movie is that during the presentation, if I was to present it, all that you as a presenter have to do is insert a video link. So you would put the YouTube link on your presentation in this location, and it brings the video up for you. So you're not spending the time downloading videos, putting them into your software. You're actually just putting the links in wherever you find them. You can do that with video, you can do that with photos, and then when you're presenting it to your students, it will automatically start the video when it gets to that slide. So you can see as you go how creative the potential is for each of these presentations to kind of to build off one another. Little icons popping up all over. Got all kinds of stuff that takes place, and even here. So I'm going to exit out of that just to show you what it would look like to start one. But even here, or edit one rather, let me edit this one here that I have on the Book of Revelation. You simply click on edit once you've created one, and once you've kind of gone through the tutorial to do that, it brings it up for you, and then it gives you the great options of how to guide yourself through the editing process. There are basically 4 or 5 steps that you can take to do that, creating the options that you need for that in general. So as we see here, the editing tool is now up and running. I've created some circles around to where I can hone in on some things for my students. But you've got the Insert tab at the top. You can insert an image. Again, if I click that, all it's going to ask me to do is either I can select a file that they've added, or I can search Google Images for something. So I type it in, then I click whatever I want to do that. If I want to go with a YouTube video, I'm going to paste the link in right there, and it'll come up where I need it to come up. So lots of cool options. I'll let you guys kind of explore that. The path that you need to follow is right here. If I want to edit my path, this shows me where I'm going to be moving. There's easy ways to do that. If you have questions, you are actually interested in doing this, I would love to talk with you about it. Please just send me a line, comment below, and I'd love to help you out in trying to get you set up on this. I think it is a great software and a really user-friendly one for our students. So Thanks so much for taking the time to listen. I'll talk to you soon.